Hello, I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden in Ireland, and this is a quick video update to tell you about something amazing that is happening here behind me in this greenhouse. Something that has had an 11-year wait, yes, 11 years, and now that wait has come to fruition. So I guess without further ado, let's go in and check out my Furcraea. So here I am inside my greenhouse, and these two plants here with these tall spires are my Furcraea parmentieri, which I've had for 11 years. Yes, 11 long years. And this looks like it's going to be the year that these plants finally flower. It has been quite a wait since I got these small bulbils 11 years ago from a fellow gardener and planted them in my greenhouse. Now I planted them in little pots because this isn't a plant that's hardy in our climate. It's one that comes from tropical Mexico and other places around that area in the States, and therefore if I grow it here, I grow it in a pot, and it has to be protected from frost over winter. I did originally have plenty of bulbils, so I experimented with planting some of them out, and no, they didn't come through. So in the end, these two were the ones that survived and went on to provide my garden with a lot of interest for many years, because this is a plant which has lovely spiky foliage that looks great. Now every summer I would carry these plants outdoors and place them in their pot in a border where they would just provide extra spiky foliage as a backdrop to other plants in the border, and they looked really well. A completely low maintenance plant that I would never water in summer, just rely on whatever the rain would provide to give these plants what they needed. And then in autumn, when the frost started to come in, I would carry the plant indoors into the greenhouse and just park them in a corner. And this is a plant I kept dry over winter, so I didn't water it much over winter at all. Whether that's the correct thing to do or not in this particular instance, because I think it's a winter grower, I don't know, but that's the way I kept this for 11 years. And always I was waiting for a flower. Now, it's a mixed blessing when this plant eventually flowers, because when it flowers, it is magnificent. It is tall, it is fragrant, it is exotic looking. But after a magnificent flowering, this plant then dies. And when it dies, it produces multiple bulbils that all come from the spike, and I think from the flowers. Now, I've seen this in bulbil twice before, but never in flower, so I can't wait to see what it's like in flower. The flowers are supposed to be a kind of greenish, fragrant flowers, and then the masses and masses of bulbils, which of course you can collect and grow on. So I may be giving away bulbils at some stage after these guys flower. And then after it flowers, like all monocarpic plants, the plant dies, which is sad. But I guess if you're going to go out with a fantastic bang, as in the most magnificent flowering, it's really worth something. So last autumn, as I have this new greenhouse, I decided to experiment and move my Furcraea into the cold greenhouse rather than keeping them in the heated greenhouse, which I had done up until then. And they had been kept in a greenhouse. It's raining. Okay. I hope it won't disturb the sound quality too much. So they've been kept in a heated greenhouse that was kept to a 5-degree minimum in winter. That's 41 Fahrenheit. And they had done well. But anyway, this autumn gone, I decided to move them into the cold greenhouse because they're getting big and there wasn't enough space for them. And I put them here in this greenhouse. And then they seem to do fine. But 2 weeks ago, I noticed that sounds like hail. 2 weeks ago, I noticed that there was something different about my Furcraea. I noticed that the foliage seemed to be going brown and drooping. And I thought to myself, oh no, it's reacted badly to being kept at 0 degrees or even a minus temperature in winter, and it's going to die. Wow, I bet we're all glad we're not outside at the moment. So I checked out carefully, and yes, the outer leaves were going a bit brown, but then when I looked at the very interior of the plant, I noticed that both of them had a spike that was beginning to swell and to come up. So I promptly removed the outer leaves that were dying, and this of course is a plant that once it flowers it dies, so it's quite normal that the foliage begins to go to pot, like with an agave when it eventually sends up its flowering spike. So it's been only 2 weeks since then, and already we have these plants that are bumping their heads on the roof of this greenhouse. So I guess I really have a question. If you can help me at all as to what to do, I would really love to know, because this isn't a plant that can go out, especially not in this weather. I've measured up my heated greenhouse, and actually it is taller than this one if I remove the bubble wrap at the top. So I think what I'll do is I'll move both of these plants to the old greenhouse, the glass house, and that will give them maybe a week more, but I still have a problem what to do with this plant. So if you've any very clever ideas, please do let me know, because I don't want them to twist when their heads hit the roof of the greenhouse, as one of them seems to be already doing slightly. Okay, so fantastic news. This wonderful plant, Furcraea parmentieri, is in bud, and very soon I will have glorious flowers to share with you, and soon bulbils too. So I guess that's all for the moment, except to say that you can expect a video from me on Sunday this week, and it's going to be my Keukenhof visit video, which is where I visit the bulb garden in Holland, where they grow so many beautiful tulips and daffodils. A spectacular video for anyone who's interested in early spring flowers. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Any super good ideas, please do jot them down below, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.